There is a crazy bet going around on the internet that the price of Bitcoin will hit $1 million over the next 3 months. This wager, on the other hand, is not placed by some random guy on the street. Rather, a big player in the crypto industry whose name is Balaji, a talented entrepreneur and former chief technology officer of Coinbase. He is risking $1 million of his own money that Bitcoin will reach $1 million in value. His term date 90 days here. James Medlock is the only individual who has shown interest in taking up this wager so far. Hello and welcome back to CryptoConnex. Kindly support our channel by pressing the subscribe and notification. The price of Bitcoin dropped by 65% in 2022, which was followed by a number of major failures in projects and hedge funds, bankruptcies, liquidity issues, and the failure of FTX, which was one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. This year might be a bit different, as there is a current surge in price which might change the entire market. The price of Bitcoin has skyrocketed by an astounding 35% in the space of only 1 week, reaching an all-time high of over $27,000. And this may be the beginning of a significant bull run. If you had purchased then, you would be up about 12% up. Let's now talk about Balaji's bet and what made him this confident. Firstly, the beginning of Balaji's argument is that the bankers lied. Including the central bankers and the bank regulators, Balaji claims that these individuals are lying to all of the dollar holders, despite the fact that they are aware of the fact that there is a significant threat to the US dollar. In a nutshell, as you can see in this report that was published in November of the previous year, there were already rising worries that the FDIC was worried about unrealized losses in the United States, portfolios of bonds held by banks. They claim that banks currently have strong liquidity, so it seems like everything is fine with them. But as the market continues to shift, financial institutions can be forced to sell those assets. After a moderate drop in inflation in December, the experts believe that the Federal Reserve, Fed, may have decided to suspend their rate hikes, which may have contributed to the rise in the value of the cryptocurrency market. The stock market, gold prices, and Bitcoin prices have already been impacted by inflation. Yet according to Kumar Gaurav, founder and CEO of Kasha, a crypto neobank who said the institutionalization of Bitcoin as well as a plethora of Fed initiatives taken in the previous year may have proven to be a boon for the cryptocurrency. A number of analysts have a bullish outlook on Bitcoin in preparation for the so-called halving event that will take place in 2024. It has been discovered that the rewards given to Bitcoin miners are reduced by 1/2 every 4 years, 3.125 BTC. It is thought that this will favor demand as the supply continues to decrease. The limited supply of Bitcoin, speculation, positive market mood, and interest from institutional investors are all potential explanations for the price increase of this cryptocurrency, according to Vishwanath. It is vital to keep in mind that the crypto market is very speculative, and Bitcoin's price might fluctuate dramatically. As a result, it is challenging to forecast how the prices of Bitcoin and other crypto assets will change in the future. The Federal Reserve has steadily increased interest rates over the course of the past year, and this has resulted in considerable unrealized losses in the securities portfolios of banks that are currently available for sale. The rationale behind this is because in the year 2021, a significant number of financial institutions are working towards the goal of generating a yield. They acquired the long-term treasuries for a price of around 1% or so. Because the rates are so much higher now, anywhere from 4 to 5%, if they were compelled to recover those losses in order to obtain more liquidity, then they would in all likelihood go out of business. And doing so is all that is required to coerce the banks into acknowledging their losses. It is sufficient for us to request the return of our money from the banks. Just withdrawing your money could result in a significant liquidity issue in the short term during the next 3 months or so. And this is what Balaji refers to as the bid signal, the bank run. So he is requesting that everyone work together on this matter. Damian Schmiel, a senior economist and editor at Finance Magnates, predicted that 1 Bitcoin would be worth $70,000 in 2025. He went on to say that in order for Bitcoin to recover, 2 things are required: a revival of optimism on Wall Street, and an end to the Federal Reserve's program of rate increases. He explained that the former will not happen without the latter, and that for the time being we will need to wait patiently. On the other hand, I predict that over the course of many years, Bitcoin will emerge as a favorite option among traders. A catalyst for new upside had come in the form of the Federal Reserve's balance sheet data overnight, which showed that roughly $300 billion was being injected into the economy as part of the reaction to the financial crisis. This data showed that the market was anticipating further gains. In recent days, the Federal Reserve has initiated the creation of additional money. This curve is moving in an upward direction. These are the total assets held by the Federal Reserve, and we saw a large print back in 2020 as well as with COVID just in the past year. We printed massive amounts of money which wiped out almost half of all of the quantitative tightening that we have been doing over the course of the previous year. The problem is that inflation has surged to 6%. And the Federal Reserve wants to keep this under control. Yet they can't actually hike their rates any further because doing so will merely trigger more bank failures. This presents a conundrum for the Federal Reserve. There are going to be much too many losses that are not yet realized. So by the way, even if you can't participate in this $1 million Bitcoin bet with him, since he's only doing this with 2 individuals, there is another enjoyable method to take part in the competition. To help spread awareness of the Bit signal and the significance of Bitcoin, he is graciously sponsoring a competition with a prize pool of $1,000 to be awarded to the 1,000 best tweets. The Federal Reserve will send roughly $1 trillion in remittances to the United States Treasury. This provides the government with a healthy amount of revenue every year. The fact that interest rates are so high right now, combined with the fact that the government is in debt, means that the government must pay interest on that loan. This presents a problem. And now it's not making money anymore, it's losing money. Within a few months, the Federal Reserve will have lost a sufficient amount of money due to this negative net interest revenue for it to have negative tangible equity. In other words, the company's financial obligations will surpass the value of its assets. It will be unable to pay its debts and basically be bankrupt. And there is a risk that investors would lose faith in the value of the US dollar as a result. So it appears that the Federal Reserve is in the process of going bankrupt at this point. Let's have a conversation about Bitcoin, shall we? Taking a look at the way prices are moving around 27,000 right now, we can see that there is some resistance here, actually around 30,000. I believe that this is going to be an important indicator with regard to this. The indications for technical analysis have been jumping around quite a bit around this level recently. In addition, there is a psychological limit involved. And if you're interested in my own personal technical analysis, I see a bit of a head and shoulders formation here, which is generally interpreted as a positive signal in financial markets. Hence, if we are able to surpass 30,000 here, our next objective may be somewhere around 40,000 or perhaps higher. When we take a look at Ethereum, we can observe that the ETH-BTC chart indicates that Ethereum has been experiencing a precipitous decline. In other words, what is actually taking place is that Bitcoin is beginning to decouple from the rest of the cryptocurrency market. And this connects back to the thesis I initially presented. Many of the digital coins are kind of converging on Bitcoin as virtually all the other cryptocurrencies gradually lose their relevance. Many people are coming to the conclusion that many of these other coins are not very helpful. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is very much one of the only repositories of value that exists today. That's all for today. Kindly support our channel by pressing the subscribe and notification bell. Thank you for watching.